Welcome back to GH Always channel. Today we will learn about the shocking developments unfolding in Port Charles that have left the entire General Hospital fandom gasping for breath. The unexpected victim revelation. The March 31st episode of General Hospital delivered one of the most heart-stopping moments in recent soap history when viewers discovered Elizabeth Weber was the passenger in Rick Lansing's vehicle during the catastrophic crash. The collective audience expectation had been firmly fixed on Ava Jerome as the intended target of Kristina Corinthos' vengeful sabotage, creating a moment of pure dramatic tension when Elizabeth's face appeared instead. The revelation came as a stunning twist that completely redirected the storyline's trajectory. What makes this development particularly compelling is that Lucky Spencer stands alone with the burden of terrible knowledge. He is the sole witness aware that Kristina deliberately cut the brake lines of what she believed was Ava's car. This secret places Lucky in an impossible moral dilemma: protect Kristina, with whom he shares complicated history, or reveal the truth about her increasingly dangerous behavior. Kristina Corinthos' character has evolved into a study of psychological complexity and moral ambiguity. Her behavior exhibits classic signs of someone trapped in a cycle of impulsivity and self-sabotage. She consistently demonstrates an inability to anticipate consequences, acting on raw emotion rather than rational thought. This pattern has escalated from merely self-destructive to actively endangering others. The most troubling aspect of Kristina's character development is her remarkable capacity for cognitive dissonance. She condemns others for behaviors she herself exhibits, creating a hypocritical worldview that allows her to justify increasingly dangerous actions. Her refusal to acknowledge personal responsibility has become her defining characteristic. The 5150 question. Mental health professionals might recognize in Kristina the criteria for a 5,150 hold, representing an individual who presents a danger to themselves and others. Her recent actions certainly qualify under this definition, raising serious questions about whether involuntary psychiatric intervention might be the only responsible course of action. The show appears to be exploring the difficult question of how society should respond to individuals whose mental health issues manifest in ways that threaten public safety. Is Kristina deserving of compassion and treatment, or has she crossed a line that demands more punitive measures? Port Charles has developed an unfortunate ecosystem that enables Kristina's destructive behavior. Family members, particularly her father Sonny Corinthos, have repeatedly shielded her from consequences, inadvertently reinforcing her most dangerous tendencies. This protective bubble has prevented Kristina from developing the emotional maturity necessary to function as a responsible adult. The show seems to be asking viewers to consider whether misguided love can sometimes be more harmful than honest confrontation. Sonny's pattern of rescuing Kristina, while stemming from paternal devotion, has created a perpetual state of arrested development in his daughter. The innocent bystanders. The most heartbreaking aspect of this storyline is the collateral damage inflicted on innocent parties. Elizabeth Weber, beloved nurse and mother, now fights for her life due to Kristina's reckless vendetta. Rick Lansing, despite his own checkered past, was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time. The situation becomes exponentially more complex when considering that Rick is the father of Molly Lansing, Kristina's half-sister. The sisters have only recently begun healing from shared trauma surrounding a pregnancy loss, and this new catastrophe threatens to destroy their fragile reconciliation permanently. The storyline places viewers at an interesting ethical junction. Should Kristina finally face genuine consequences for actions that could have resulted in multiple deaths? Or should family loyalty once again supersede justice, with Sonny using his considerable influence to shield his daughter? The show appears to be deliberately challenging its audience to examine their own moral boundaries. At what point does sympathy for a troubled character transform into enabling destructive behavior? When does understanding someone's pain become excusing their harmful actions? The redemption question. Perhaps the most profound question raised by this storyline is whether Kristina remains redeemable. Has she crossed a moral event horizon, or is there still hope for genuine character growth? The answer likely depends on whether she demonstrates authentic remorse and willingness to accept responsibility. The writers seem to be exploring the limits of audience forgiveness. Soap opera characters have historically recovered from seemingly unforgivable actions, but Kristina's pattern of repeated harmful behavior without meaningful change tests the boundaries of this convention. The future implications. As Elizabeth and Rick undergo emergency surgery, the ripple effects of Kristina's actions will undoubtedly transform multiple storylines. Lucky's knowledge places him in a pivotal position to either expose the truth or become complicit in its concealment. Molly faces the potential loss of her father at her sister's hands, creating an irreconcilable family fracture. The most intriguing possibility remains whether this crisis might finally force Kristina to confront her own demons. True character development would require her to face consequences without the protective shield of family intervention, a prospect that would dramatically alter the established dynamics of Port Charles. What do you think, GH fans? Has Kristina finally exhausted your sympathy, or do you believe she deserves yet another chance at redemption? Should Sonny continue his pattern of protection, or is it time for tough love? The coming episodes promise to explore these questions in depth, potentially changing the trajectory of multiple beloved characters forever.